This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com with a daily wrestling news update, and there's tons of news today. Scott D'Amore's partner, Giselle Shaw, has been released from TNA. Of course, Scott was one of the former, co-presidents or something of TNA and was released around February of this year. From what I understand, he's still getting paid for like a year after his release, but Giselle Shaw, of course, was one of the transgender wrestlers that made waves for TNA when she started wrestling for them. AEW is getting sued by Kevin Kelly and the Tate twins. I have no idea who the Tate twins are. According to Dave Meltzer, there was an issue with them missing 2 dates. One was in Canada. And by the way, they're denying, they're saying they have reasons for missing these dates. And the other, they didn't go to a show due to something to do with the flight. And Kevin Kelly is a wrongful termination and defamation situation. I guess we'll see how those turns out. Meltzer says he expects them to be settled. I don't even remember anything from Kevin Kelly in AEW, but I guess he was a commentator. But that's how closely I pay attention to AEW. And as far as the defamation, I don't really recall the reason he was released, but I think there was some hard feelings out of that release, obviously. Raw did a 0.57 rating this week. Rampage did its lowest rating ever, 0.07. Only 218,000 viewers, which is brutal. That's a bigger problem than the lawsuit for AEW, the dropping viewership. Collision did only a 0.10 rating, 289,000 viewers. In other legal news, former WWE wrestler and former TNA champion, who is still under contract with TNA, but he's under suspension, Rich Swann was found guilty by a Florida court on charges of disorderly public intoxication and causing a disturbance on Wednesday, stemming from an incident that happened in June. He had to pay $500 in fines and go on probation for 6 months. I guess this has to do with him trying to get into a house which he thought was his, or an apartment that he thought was his, with someone else. Eventually, the person had to pull a gun on him to get him to go. Then apparently he followed a woman home wanting to speak with her.